The former president of Pilot Flying J, his name is Mark Hazelwood. Now, he was cheating trucking customers out of diesel rebates. He was doing this for 5 years, so he was under investigation by the FBI and the IRS. Well, what happened is the FBI and the IRS had a sales executive working for them and bringing in a wire to record what's going on in sales meetings. Well, this one particular sales meeting, you had the then president, Mark Hazelwood, had asked the people to put on his favorite racist song in this meeting. Now, I'm going to let you hear what the reporter is going to state, and then it's going to play a clip of that song. Well, let's roll the clip.
Not play all of the recordings that they had, and the transcripts of those recordings remain under seal, and the Knoxville News Sentinel is asking the judge to unseal those, and he has not made a final ruling yet. But what jurors did hear today was some rowdy discussions by Mr. Hazelwood and other executives. They were drinking, I'll say that, and there was references to the Cleveland Browns, and basically that the Browns suck, and they'll never make the Super Bowl. There was also conversations about Oakland, California, and the Oakland Raiders. There were derogatory comments about the liberal nature of folks out in Oakland. But the most damaging thing that the jurors heard was Mr. Hazelwood saying, and I'm going to apologize because I can't really say the words that he said, so I'm going to do my best here. He shouted out at one point, "Where's our greasy N-word song?" And then they began to play a song by David Allan Coe. And I can't say the song title because it's the N-word and then a curse word. But a snippet of the lyrics of that song, which is about a man who is upset that his white woman has slept with a black man. And it says,
"She said someday I'd understand what love was all about. She said I could have the kids. She was moving out. Said she'd finally found a man whose dick was so much bigger. And then that scumbag motherfucker ran off with a nigger. And to think I ate the pussy where that big black dick had been, and kissed the lips, sucked him off time and time again. It's enough to make a man throw up. Sure is hard to figure how any decent girl could ever fuck a greasy nigger.
"It's enough to make a man throw up. Sure is hard to figure how any decent girl could ever," expletive, a greasy N-word. And that language in particular was played for the jury. And then Arnie Rallencarter, I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name, but he was also a sales executive at the time, and he made a joke about how's that sensitivity training going, and there was a lot of laughter about it. But again, these recordings that were actually played to jurors were not quite as damaging as the overall recordings, and the government, Trey Hamilton, a federal prosecutor who is helming this case, told the judge when the News Sentinel asked him to unseal all of these recordings and transcripts that the government had opted through negotiation with the defense to limit how much they presented to this jury. And what you need to understand is that this stuff wouldn't even come in. The fact that somebody is a racist or makes racist comments is not something that's relevant to whether these fellows committed a conspiracy to rip off truckers, and that's what this case is about, promising them discounts they didn't deliver. So this type of evidence normally would not come in. However, Mr. Hazelwood's attorney, Rusty Hardin, earlier in this trial made Mr. Hazelwood's character and his business sense a key issue in this case. What he has said is that Hazelwood is way too smart a businessman to ever do anything that would endanger Pilot, including ripping off truckers. And so the government then was allowed to come back and say, well, here's this same former president of Pilot at a sales meeting where he is the senior person present in the room, and that he is saying things that if that had become public, if the totality of those recordings had become public, that the public would have been outraged, that there might have been boycotts of Pilot.
Now, as you heard what the reporter stated, the reason why that came up is because it was relevant to the case and the character of this white supremacist terrorist that's asking people to play his favorite racist song. Now, when I really heard that song, and I made sure to play it a few times in its entirety, there was just a clip of it. Let me tell y'all something. These white supremacists, they have a lot of homoerotic thoughts toward black men. Trust me, they do. All the way back go back to slavery. How they would sit up there and cut the penis off of a black man, take it and keep it as a souvenir and put it on their mantle in mason jars. This is history. Go look it up. They would take black men's testicles and do the exact same thing. Or they would cut black men's penis off and let them bleed out to death. This is history of this country and what has happened to the black man. These people sit up here, go to the studio. They will pay for studio time. They will get it mixed and mastered. And then when I looked at just a clip of this on YouTube, it had like 5.7 million views on this one song. Did you hear how he's describing sex behind a black man with this white woman? I remember one time I was on a racist website, and one trigger point about them is that a black man with a white woman. So they was having conversations about how they go on dates with white women, but they make sure to try to slip in. Have they ever been with a black man? Have they ever dated a black man? And then if a white woman say, yeah, I dated one, he couldn't just leave it there. No, he wants to get to the point to find out if they had sexual intercourse. And I don't understand any woman that wouldn't be weird it out about a man you just met asking you, did you have sex with another race of man? Who does that? That's just, I don't get that. You don't see black men going to the studio and making songs about white men's whatever they got going on. I mean, you think about that. You imagine somebody like Drake or Future coming out with a song talking about what a white man has done and what a black woman. I mean, like, it's sick. It is utterly sick. And that's the conversations they be having on the racist websites about black men is nothing but black penis envy in that song. And then that particular artist, whatever he is, that made the song, he has a bunch of songs like that, sitting there talking about black men. Now, this executive at the time, which he was the president, stated that was his favorite song. And he played that for all the sales executives, and they were just laughing it up and having a good old time. And I'm sitting up there like, these people are sick. They sick. They sick to the core. Now, it's not just him. It's not just those in the room. I know plenty of things go on in these corporations when they think nobody's looking and how they talk about us as black people. These people have a sick obsession with us. Sick. No other race of people have an obsession with black folks like the white supremacist terrorists. Nobody. Nobody else is making songs like that. Nobody is sitting there worrying about what black folks do 24/7. No other race. They're not worried about if you unify. They're not worried about if you want to shop at black businesses or build schools or whatever you talk about you want to do. No other race is worrying about you. Have you ever paid attention to that? None. Asians not worrying with you. Arabs not worrying with you. Latinos, Native Americans, whoever you want to say. Even though I know Latino is not a race, but you get the ethnicity part. No other race is worried about you. But white supremacist terrorists. And this 6th song that we heard here is just more evidence of the degenerate, demonic devils that white supremacist terrorists are. I mean, I was just floored when I heard that. But the pilot Flying J had hired this guy. And you know me, I don't care if he used to work for you. This wasn't exposed to the public. It only came out because the federal prosecutors wanted to point out something against this guy's character. So how I feel about it, I'm not spending a dime at the pilot Flying J. Anytime I find out about it, I'm not going to spend my money. I'm going to make sure to utilize part of the $1.2 trillion that we're spending a year as black folks and only spend my money in places where it's appreciated. And if you're going to sit here and even hire this guy and allow this guy and a sales team to laugh at that 6th song, no, I don't want my money nowhere near the pilot Flying J. And, you know, I've seen them around here in Houston. You know, every once in a while I would, you know, go to one if I'm on somewhere, pick up a little snack or whatever. But no, I can definitely commit to not spend a dime in that place ever again. I'm just on that kick. If you're not going to respect me, you're not going to respect black people, you're not going to get black dollars. At least that's how I'm going to live my life. Now, I know, unfortunately, the majority of black people, we would actually get on code like that, then you will make them respect you. You have to make them respect you. All that forgiveness, all that, oh, well, they didn't mean it. You don't know their hearts. Like, man, forget that. Throw out all that mess that you're doing. It don't work. All they need to understand is action. And you don't have to do nothing evil, criminal to make action. Take your money, hold your money, put it in your pocket, and only spend it in places that respect you. Any business that laugh and make those kind of songs and you joking with that, no. If anybody follow you in the store, no. Have some self-respect about yourself, black man and black woman. They're not selling out, so you can avoid that place. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story and the sheer obsession. How do you feel about that as a black person and noticing no other group of people is obsessed with you but one that's full of white supremacist terrorists?